I have a 2012 two-wheel drive 6L90 that had the output shaft removed, machined down to 32 splines, and shortened to fit the 1980 something NP208 with 32 spline input. Using the adapter, you can see the part number right there. Here's the part number, and it seems as though it all fits up pretty darn nice. Obviously I don't know if the clock angle is perfect, but judging by the fact that the four-wheel drive switch is flat and the shifter linkage bushing is vertical, I'm going to say that that's pretty much spot on to what it would be in the factory vehicle. I'm going to be pulling this all apart again just for storage. Obviously, I'm not going to put the trans and transfer case attached to the engine all in one piece. The transfer case will go on last. But what I want to do before I get into the truck is the Squarebody trucks, maybe other trucks, I don't know, came with this transfer case brace, for lack of a better word. It's got two big beefy bolts, and it's like approximately 5/8, a little larger than 5/8 diameter bar that goes from this flange on the transfer case all the way up to a bolt in the bell housing. Judging by the fact that this is missing the mark by about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, I'm going to say the lengths and how this is falling out is actually pretty darn close. Now this gives me some hope for my drive line that I'll be able to use my stock drive shaft, if not temporarily, maybe even for the foreseeable future till I can afford a good custom one. But it just, I don't know, it was surprising to see that all this fit together, and I'm really only about 1 inch or so off from the original. That being said, I'm 1 inch or so off from the original. So what I'm going to have to do, and if you'd notice these, well, you don't notice, but I will tell you, these this rod is actually slid as far forward as possible, and these holes are slotted. So what I'm going to do is actually loosen these up and move this bar back so that it's not quite in the center, it's more towards the front of the slot. And my reasoning for that is, as I bolt this up to the bell housing, I want there to be, I don't want to create a situation where I'm actually putting tension on the case. I want these to fall somewhat in the middle. So that's kind of the plan. The way we're going to accomplish this modification is quite simple. I got some couple chunks of scrap 5/8 round bar that I just happen to have access to, and what I'm going to do is cut this bar. I'm not sure where yet. It doesn't really matter. I'll probably cut it somewhere up in here, just because I feel like that'll be the easiest way to deal with it. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to bolt this to the hole with just a nut and bolt here. And once I bolt that solid to this, I'll be able to fit my piece, trim this, fit my piece, and stick it in there. And what I'm gonna end up doing is just you know, putting a weld prep on both sides and just burning the crap out of it. It should be fine. This does have a little bit of flexibility to it down at that end, so you know, we're not talking about bridge structure here, so we should be okay. So that's the plan. Right about here looks good. Right about there. Doesn't need much, short little piece, but that's going to work. I'll weld this piece on here first off the transmission, and then what I'll do is I'll bolt it back into place, kind of use this as leverage, match it up to that, make sure my lengths are good, weld prep it, and then tack it, and that should be good. This will pull over some. I guess it could go down like that too. That's pretty good. Okay. Welder up, done deal. Okay, I may have skipped a step or a bunch. Basically what I did was I used the 5/8 round bar that I got from work, and I ground a chisel point on it, and there's essentially a piece somewhere in this area where I welded a piece in. These are oblong holes here. I slid it all the way down, figuring worst case, if it's short, it can pull this way some. But I'm about to throw it on and see how it fits after final welding. Then I'll probably just hit it with some primer and some black paint just to keep it from rusting. I skipped a bunch of that because I'm in no position to instruct people how to weld things. I'm pretty sure the way I weld prepped it and welded it is probably overkill for what this thing is doing. So we're gonna toss a bolt in here and just see. I mean, I can already tell it's lined up perfect, so I think we did good. It's in there now. Crank this down like that. Boom. That is a solid brace. And now that I have it bolted in, I can actually, I wasn't exactly sure. I'm like, man, what is that thing doing? But it really does seem to stiffen this whole thing up. I mean, I could easily lift this whole assembly up by this bar. So that's that. That's how you put a square body transfer case brace onto a 6L90 that's been converted from two-wheel drive to four-wheel. You're gonna have to extend it a little bit. You could also put a spacer, I don't know if I mentioned, and just bolt it. I like this solution better. I feel like it's a little more stout. So anyway, that's that. Pretty quick video, I think, on that. What's going to happen with the trans now is I'm going to take it all apart. I'm going to split it, and it's going to get parked over off to the side for now to get ready for the rest of the build. So that's it. Thanks for watching.